Hey, good morning, folks. I'm your host, BKP, and we're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge, Georgia. Yes, it's that time of year. It's been an amazing summer, and throughout this summer at Sycamore Crossing. We love it over there. We had some great shows this past year, but we've moved indoors for the fall and upcoming winter here in North Georgia, and we're glad to be home at Circuit World Blue Ridge. We'll be here every Friday morning until usually we go back out to Sycamore Crossing right around May when the temperatures get real nice during the day. It's just like that 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, sometimes when it gets in the 40s and 50s where it's a little cold outside just to be sitting there. So glad to be at Circuit World of Blue Ridge. I'm your host, BKP. Got Lonnie producing this morning. Got Dr. Whaley getting everything ready for his segment. So we will have Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley. We will have the all-star political panel. Rick and Jane will be here. Bruce is traveling. Then we will have North Georgia Senior Living with Jesse Barton, the Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall and Ella J. And we always round out our show with the star every week, Pet of the Week from the Humane Society in Blue Ridge. Glad to be back. You know, nothing like coming back. I don't know how to take it. Like, oh, we can handle this. Like, what are you doing here? Are you back? Wow, I don't know. I have to ask Rick. I mean, if I was the kind of person that my feelings would get hurt, just joking. We're gonna have Ask the Doc around the other side of the segment, but this morning, Durham's investigation into possible FBI misconduct is now criminal probe, sources say. U.S. Attorney John Durham's ongoing probe into potential FBI and Justice Department misconduct in the run-up to the 2016 election through the spring of 2017 has transitioned into a full-fledged criminal investigation. John Durham, interesting. Criminal investigation. Well, what happened? Immediately. That is why, and we'll get into that with the All-Star panel, you are hearing all of this impeachment noise as they are trying to counter what they know is getting ready to happen, okay, in this criminal investigation. So obviously this morning a statement was released, a joint statement from Adam, what does the president call him? Shifty Shift? Adam Shifty Shift. Adam, I don't care to look the American people in the eye and lie Shift. Adam, I've got evidence. I have evidence of collusion, obstruction in the Russian investigation. Lie Shift. Nothing. He had nothing. Oh, that would be him. And Gerald Nadler released a statement. These reports, if true, raise profound new concerns that the Department of Justice under Attorney General William Barr has lost its independence and become a vehicle for President Trump's political revenge. So we're labeling corruption. We're labeling the insurance policy. Remember Peter Strzok and Lisa P. That is all being labeled political revenge. So the corruption that happened in the FBI, the FISA warrants, revenge, political revenge. Anyhow, we'll talk about that. Bill Taylor, who is Bill Taylor? I can't wait for Rick. I'm going to let Rick tell you this morning who Bill Taylor is. I know he's been studying that and he's ready to go. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to break, but I can't wait. First of all, I can't wait to hear Jane on this turning into a criminal investigation. The first person, I'm telling you, that came to mind when I heard that this has gone into a criminal investigation is Jane. And I can't wait for her to go on that. And I'm going to let Rick tell you who Bill Taylor is. I know they're ready. I'm your host, BKP. We are at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge. We're going to take a quick break, and it's time for Dr. William Whaley, Ask the Doc, on the other side of these commercials. Take us to break, Lonnie.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and we're at Circuit World here in downtown Blue Ridge. It's now time for Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley. We want to thank North Georgia Cancer Specialists research affiliated with Northside Hospital. So we appreciate Northside Hospital for this segment. Dr. Whaley, how are you?
I'm great. I want to say one thing. You mentioned it was like that in your opening. Lonnie is our engineer, producer,
Right.
fix-it man today. I think it's I'm a lot more comfortable when Lonnie's here. I mean, he just seems to be sort of smooth and
He is.
He's quicker than. I mean, I'm everybody's been fine. I'm just saying, but when Lonnie's here, I sort of feel like the head coach is here, the Oracle at Delphi.
Oh,
or
please.
something. I'm serious.
I appreciate it.
I mean,
Lonnie
anyway.
appreciates those kind
Anyway,
I've got to deal with him all week
Yeah,
now.
I know. He'll big head for the rest of the week.
He takes on everything with a very even and makes it happen, and I understand exactly
Right,
what
but
you're saying.
it doesn't seem to be stressed when he can't. Either I can't find the picture I sent him, or he can't. It's just it's smoother with him. I just wanted to say that. And then I really wish I could sit here and listen to the expert panel because I have to go. I got too many patients today. But first thing I heard last night and this morning was that this criminal investigation is Trump's Justice Department doing a smear job on his opponents or some such business as that. And y'all are going to have a great time with the.
But I was right earlier, right?
Yeah,
Jane,
yeah.
We
Stay
get
with
ready
it.
because Jane is.
It's been 24 months at least. It's going to come down. Okay. All right. So I'm going to read these questions. They're good questions because there's a couple really big words in the first one: hormones and diagnosis.
Okay.
And I noticed you got your glasses. All right. So this question was really well written. Maybe a hole or two in it, but my sister is 52 years old. Okay. And she has a huge cancer of the breast for the past year. So now we know she's got a big cancer of the breast.
Okay.
And at diagnosis had cancer in her bones. Now, we talk about breast cancer all the time, but we very rarely get a question about somebody who at diagnosis had stage 4 breast cancer that was already spread. She was told she was sensitive to hormones, and she has been on hormone therapy for about 14 months. Now, we talk all the time about if you're hormone responsive, you can take hormones for decades and not have any kind of toxicity. It's so much better than chemotherapy or something that you can just take 6 months or something and have to stop. So the sister was fortunate that she had hormone responsive breast cancer. Now her breast hurts, and they are talking about radiating it or removing it. Now, that means they're talking about treating the breast even though she's got cancer in her bones. So, this is where the question is, why do that if she has cancer all over her body in the bones?
Right.
Now, do you understand that?
I pulled the questions up too.
Okay, so basically it was well written. Sister's got advanced breast cancer, probably not familial. It's in the bones at diagnosis. She's hormone responsive, and they began with hormonal therapy, and apparently she's doing well, generally. But that breast is giving her some trouble, and they're talking about removing the breast or radiating the breast.
Well, let me say something here, not to interrupt you, but
that's what you're supposed to do. That's your job.
But in the years we've done this, I've learned a couple things. The big things that my takeaway in this question, and when you say it's well written, is there's things that you always say you need to know in a question. Sister, so we got a female, we have an age. We have, a very good, description, 14 months. We have a timeline. We have there's all the things in there that you ask in a question that you want to,
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So
that is
is
done well.
Yeah, that's
if there's a thing or two we don't know, and we'll come to it in a minute. So anyway, we begin always, put up that picture about staging, will you? We generally begin always talking about breast conservation, how to do lumpectomy, and do you get treated after the lumpectomy, and all of those We're talking about people who we are trying to cure. Keep that in mind. When we're talking about stage 1, 2, and 3 breast cancer, we're trying to cure that patient of cancer by maybe giving them chemotherapy up front, remember, to shrink the tumor, to make the surgery easier. So if you look at that graphic there, stage 4, this breast cancer, see those little spots there? Those little spots on the bottom right? That's the bone metastasis this patient has. So from the day of diagnosis, the goal is not to cure this patient of cancer. One more time. The goal is not to cure this patient of cancer. It is to palliate what's clearly a fatal disease because it's spread to the bones. That's first. Palliation versus cure. Second, I begin every discussion with cancer patients and here by saying we treat human beings and not charts. And unfortunately, medicine today has gotten to where they give you this menu you're supposed to follow, and if you don't follow that menu and you go outside the menu, the insurance company won't cover it, or the drug's not on your plan, or whatever it is. So we still have to remember we're trying to treat a human being here, and we're not trying to treat an algorithm or a menu. So that question says 14 months that the breast is now beginning to hurt. Got it? So this patient, pull that down, Lottie. This patient is having her quality of life diminished by the continued presence of the cancerous breast on her chest. Now just throw that algorithm up and just leave it there about 15 seconds to take it down. Now that's that thing you're supposed to be following. You remember the National Cancer Institute says, or Obamacare says, you got breast cancer up here, and then this hormone receptor positive, and then you either take the breast off. I mean, it tells you, it gives you this rule you're supposed to follow. Well, nowhere in this rule, you can pull that down on, nowhere in that rule is a breast cancer patient mentioned who has breast cancer that's spread to bone and who's now hurting. Okay, so let's throw up that next thing there. And as I've said many times, we're talking about breast cancer. We almost never do a mastectomy anymore, right?
Right.
What I said is we give them chemo and we do a lump and we give them some radiation and preserve the breast so that you don't have to go through reconstruction. So this next, very rarely do you see a graphic that talks about doing mastectomies. So anyway, at the top, I'm just showing you this for a reason. At the top, everything 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are largely curative mastectomies. What's that last one say?
Toilet?
Toilet?
Mastectomy.
All right, pull that down. My wife said, what in the world are you going to do talking about a toilet mastectomy?
Well, I'm glad your wife said it because I looked at it.
That sounds terrible. Well, what that really means is you are just cleaning up something with not trying to make a cure out of it. So show that next one. This is a locally advanced breast cancer. It's got puckered skin. The nipple is inverted, and that means that whole breast right there is involved with cancer. Today, we would treat that patient up front with the chemotherapy in an effort to shrink that tumor down with a curative intent. Then we'd do a mastectomy, we'd give them some radiation to the chest wall, and then we'd give them some adjunctive chemotherapy. So this is locally advanced cancer that we would be trying to cure. Put this next one up, and this is not a real pretty picture. But these are pictures of 6, including a man with breast cancer, advanced breast cancers that have in their body cancer elsewhere, but the breast is so symptomatic in terms of pain that it is removed. Or if you look at this top one up here where there's all this granulation tissue, or that one, if that breast is going to respond to treatment, then it's likely to become infected and drained. So when you're cleaning that up, that's why they call it a toilet mastectomy. So I'm going to tell you, let's go to that last one. So at the top it says, toilet mastectomy is a useful adjunct to palliative care, remember, trying to just make their life better, in metastatic patients and locally advanced breast cancer patients. Now, you can pull that down, but that's the official word, that toilet mastectomy is a valid therapeutic maneuver. So what that mastectomy, or if the patient elected to take radiation, let's say they had heart disease or something, they weren't able to take the surgery, is trying to get rid of, way back at the first, what are they getting rid of? Pain in the breast. The only thing that patient complained of was pain in the breast. So I haven't seen a picture of that pain in the breast, but I will tell you she's got to have a huge tumor. It's probably in the skin. The pain may be because that tumor is responding to the hormones, and it is in danger of, or is beginning to have some of that skin breakdown I was talking about, and beginning to weep, and is causing pain. So I believe that your sister is responding to treatment. Otherwise, you would have told us that in 14 months she's getting worse, and they're talking about chemotherapy or something else. So first, I would go with the fact that we're treating a human being. Your sister's breast hurts, and let's get the breast off to relieve her of the pain. Now, I'm going to go back and encourage you greatly, because hormonally sensitive cancer of the breast, as I've told you here before, I've been doing this now 47 years. I've got patients I am still following who have stage 4 disease, and they have been being treated for 20 or more years with hormone treatments that have kept their breast cancer under control. What was that word I just used?
What?
What word? I said under what?
Control.
Okay, under control. Did I say cure?
No.
I said
Under control.
under control. Now, what does that mean? Cancer's still there, but it's quiet. So it's kind of like athlete's foot or dandruff. It's there, but it's not bothering them. You can scan them and see these bones are still, the bones have healed, but they're still there. Spots that they may have had on lung or liver are gone, but we know if we stop the hormones, it's going to grow back. They're 20 years out there. Now, that's long enough to where that patient, if they've got any age on them, and let's say they get diabetes or get heart disease, they may die with cancer, but die from heart disease, stroke, bad diabetes. In other words, it's become a chronic medical condition. Now, I know that some of the people in this room here have high blood pressure.
Okay.
Including me. So that's a chronic disease. I've been being treated for high blood pressure for 20 years. I hope I'm treated for high blood pressure for 20 more years, and that it doesn't cause me to have a stroke or a heart attack, and that something else gets me, right?
Right.
Okay, so Dr. Bill Knapp, who's the big cardiologist, came up here about the same time I did, 30-something years ago. We've shared many, many patients, and as they've gotten older, their heart disease has gotten worse. And so I'll be in the office and seeing them, and I say, "How you doing? Good." I said, "Have you seen Dr. Knapp lately?" He said, "Yeah, I'm seeing him down at the L&J clinic in about 2 weeks." I said, "Well, you remember to tell Dr. Knapp now, I hope I win." Now, what do I mean by that? I hope I win.
I understand.
I hope the patient lives long enough to die of heart disease, and that the oncologist wins and the cardiologist loses. And then Knapp will come back, and you know what his answer is? Well, I hope so too, because most people do ultimately die of their heart.
I get it. Right.
So anyway, I think it's a great collaborative relationship we have between the cardiologist and the oncologist, that this is a palliative treatment. Heart disease, he's not going to cure anybody of heart disease, is he? You're never going to be cured of it. You're going to continue You got angioplasty,
Right.
you got bypass.
You're going to control it.
You're going to control it. You're going to
I
lower
get
the
it.
blood pressure. You're going to lose
Right.
weight. Your cholesterol is going to go down, and you're going to walk an hour 5 days a week. And that's not going to control your heart disease, but that's going to let you live 20 more years. It's going to palliate the heart disease. Well, using that concept, your sister is getting the exact modern treatment she'd get at the world-famous Mayo Clinic or anywhere else, and I'm encouraged that your sister's going to do well.
Thank you very much. Hey, folks, Ask the Doc is a segment that is sponsored by North Georgia Cancer Research right here in Blue Ridge, affiliated with Northside Hospital. We appreciate them. And we also want to invite you to send questions to Dr. Whaley. You can do that by sending it to info, I-N-F-O, at FetchYourNews.com. Put in the subject line, Ask the Doc. And what I brought up earlier in that question, the doctor likes to have all the details you'll be willing to give him. You know, we need to know all the details. And as you can see with that, he can give you a very thorough answer. Let's go to the second question. I got my son, who is a healthy 25-year-old lineman on High Lines, had a CT scan for a possible kidney stone, and no stones was found, but he was told his spleen was mildly enlarged. What does that mean, and should he be worried?
That's a pretty good question, isn't it?
Yes, everything, but I like that.
What does that tell you about the guy?
Well,
He's a really healthy guy.
I know.
He's climbing 150 feet up on those poles.
Exactly. I got
So
it.
this, you know the other thing about him? He probably is a veteran. My nephew, who was
Okay.
a paratrooper in Afghanistan, you remember?
Right,
When he
yes.
came home, that's the job he got, was climbing the High Lines because he wasn't afraid of heights. I mean, would you go up one of
No.
those? Lonnie, would you go up to the top of one of these
No.
transmissions? So we know the guy's a brave kid. He's got to be in really good shape because that's not some place for a chubby, frightened guy up there. So he probably pulled a muscle in his back and went to the ER and said, "Oh, my back's killing me," and that's probably from being active. And they said, "Well, you might have a kidney stone. We'll have to do a scan before they can
Right.
send you home." Unfortunately, that's that algorithm thing you just saw a few minutes ago, because if they hadn't done the kidney stone and had sent him home and then he got an obstructed kidney from the kidney stone, they'd have sued the ER, you know. So here's a healthy, big 25-year-old guy goes in and they scan him. Nothing wrong with your kidney. Your spleen slightly enlarged. Go see your PCP. Now, what in the world is he going to do? So it's his sister. Is it his
Son.
His son.
It's his son.
Okay, so it's Mama that's worried.
And
Mama.
should we be worried?
All right, go ahead. Put that. What's the spleen do up there? Because this is really an interesting question. At my age, and I'm sure at your age, you and I both remember guys who fell off the monkey bars at 6, 7, 8 years old, landed on the ground, went to the hospital, and their spleens were removed because they'd ruptured them. Back in the day when I played high school football, we did not have rib protectors, and we had hip pads, and we did not have any you can't spear and you can't hit hard. And in the 5 years I played in high school, I believe 2 guys in 5 years had their spleens ruptured either in practice or games. So in our day, it was not uncommon for people to have their spleen removed because of trauma.
An NFL quarterback, and I forget his name, last name, Chris, he was with Tampa Bay for a while. He had his spleen removed, and I forget his last name.
Yeah, but that's happened.
Huh?
Hinky
No.
is it? He says so.
Well, maybe that also, but who was the quarterback for the Giants that won the Super Bowl?
Eli.
No, back in the day. Huh?
Phil Sims.
Phil Sims, Chris Sims.
Oh, Chris Sims.
Yeah, Chris Sims.
Yeah, okay, well, it's going to.
But anyhow, he had his spleen
Well, yeah,
spleen
you don't
removed.
even see all of them. They probably happens 5 or 6 times a year in the NFL. But if it happens to a reserve on the special teams, you don't even know about it.
Right.
They just say he's out with an upper body injury.
I didn't mean to
he won't play
interrupt
with it.
that,
No,
but as you were
that's
saying
fine.
that throughout
Right.
the years with football.
Okay. Now, what we learned by that was, in those days, they said, look, spleen's like the appendix. We don't know that it does anything, so don't worry about it. So you got that one up there, what's spleen do? Because spleen does stuff. Well, we didn't know about it in my youth. And people then who had their spleen removed when they were 7 would get in college and die of rapidly progressive septic infection. And it took decades and lots of cases before they showed that the spleen actually has a huge amount of function. Okay, the appendix doesn't do anything, but forever they said spleen doesn't do anything. It's like the appendix; you can afford to lose it. Well, the spleen is part of the lymphatic system. Okay, and
lymphatic
all
system.
right, okay, and
I gotta do that 3 times.
Protects us from the effects of outside
invaders.
All right. So this thing is a immune functioning organ. And so at the bottom it says, if your body were a city, the organs that make it up of the lymphatic system would be like the policemen, firefighters, and the garbage men, meaning cleaning up junk.
Right.
Now, put up that next one. When you have your spleen removed, if we know we're going to have to remove it for a operation for some reason or other, before they'll allow you to have your spleen removed, they make you take some immunizations. If your spleen is removed as an emergency, they make you take the same immunizations, because what we learned was these people with the spleens out became poster boys for the Neisseria meningitidis, which is the meningococcus. Remember college epidemics of meningitis?
Yes.
And you can get meningitis, and within 12 hours you're dead because it turns you over. Okay, the spleen is specifically involved in that immunity to meningitis. Now, this Streptococcus pneumoniae just really means pneumococcal pneumonia. Remember their pneumonia shot? I said, hey, have you had your pneumonia shot? You know? And this Haemophilus influenzae is not flu. This is a bacteria. So when your spleen is removed, you are at risk of overwhelming 12 hours from getting sick to dead from meningitis, pneumococcal pneumonia, and Haemophilus influenzae. And so once they remove that spleen, you got to get immunized. So now we got this spleen. Pull up that next one. What in the world is a spleen? Well, here this is a pretty good picture. Your spleen's so small, it's hiding up underneath the ribs over there on the left. You see that?
Right.
Here's your stomach. There's your liver, which is huge there, but your spleen is protected by these ribs. And that's why the rib protectors that they wear now in college and in high school and in professional football for wide receivers, quarterbacks, cornerbacks, people that are going to get whacked, is protecting that spleen. Okay, bring that one down. We're going to show this just for the sake of the fact that there's always 100 reasons why that spleen might be big. That might not be 100, but if you add them all up, it's probably 30, isn't it?
Right.
Okay, well now you got malignancy there, you got infection there, you've got infiltration there, you've got different blood disorders there, you've got congestion there. So pull that down, get rid of it. Now, the other moderator we've had here over the summertime, we did have and we've done this with you before also, talking about anemia.
All right.
If you're anemic, there's only 3 ways to get anemic, right? You either aren't producing them, you're destroying them, or you're losing them. And then there's billions of reasons why those 3 things could happen. So put this big long one up about the causes. So you got light, moderate, and severe. And over here on the severe side, you get all these malignancies. And in here, you get rickets, for crying out loud. Who's vitamin D deficient anymore? And then over here on the left side, you've got these kind of infections. Well, you can pull that down. Probably the biggest cause of the big spleen in adolescents and young adults is mononucleosis. So that's a viral infection. Spleen gets big. Now you go back, and this guy is a healthy guy. He had a backache, obviously, because they thought he had a kidney stone.
Right.
Then when they x-rayed him, his spleen was mildly enlarged. That means it's still up underneath here. Mildly enlarged is just a teeny bit. So the kid probably has a virus. I mean, he hadn't lost 30 pounds. I mean, he doesn't like he's got lymphoma. He's not running fever. He's up on a pole. He got some kind of backache that got him in the ER. Then he got the CAT scan, and then everybody started worrying about him. So if you go to this last one here, causes of splenomegaly. Once again, it's function, blood flow, and infiltration. Down at the bottom says benign, so you can pull that one down. The last three big spleen patients that I've seen are overweight, high cholesterol, high blood fats, making the fatty liver. You remember about a half a year ago we talked about cirrhosis and liver tumors and the fatty liver. So the fatty liver congests the blood flow. That makes the spleen a little bit bigger. Well, we know this kid hadn't got fatty liver because he's crawling that pipe. Yeah, he wouldn't have the fatty liver. So if it's not fatty liver, every other one that I've seen in the last 3 or 4 months has been the result of some sort of virus. And they've all been tested for mono and they don't have it. But you'll remember there are at least 5 other viral infections that look like mono but with a negative blood test. So we just call one of those 5 mono, and the others are called, quote, mono-like viruses, right? So I think your son has nothing to worry about. I mean, he's not losing weight. He's apparently not anemic. They did blood tests. I mean, I think he's got a mildly enlarged spleen, which may be constitutional, meaning he's a big kid, and that makes it a big kid's got a bigger spleen. Or secondly, that what got him in there in the first place, the reason he had a backache was he was having some kind of virus. So, Mama, I wouldn't worry about it. I'd have him go see his family practitioner. He'll do some blood tests. If the blood tests are all normal, he'll tell him to go away and come back in 3 months and probably do them again. They won't forget about it. But but quit worrying about it. How about that?
Don't worry. That was a great answer.
Tell Mama to quit worrying about it. How about that?
You tell Mama to quit worrying about it. I'll tell you what. I was thinking of something else. Thank you very much for that question, and we appreciate, like I said, the more detail, the better the doctor can bring you a complete answer. I call it a complete answer because I really do enjoy that, because I have over the years noticed a vague question, and then you have to go a couple different directions on it, and one that really has some good detail. So we appreciate that. If you'd like to send a question to Dr. Whaley, don't forget, ask the doc, put that in the subject line, info, I-N-F-O, at FetchYourNews.com. Put the Ask the Doc in the subject and send us a question. We'll get it to Dr. Whaley. Also, to let you know, all of these subjects that we cover are on our YouTube channel on a playlist. You can go to our YouTube channel, Fetch Your News, FYNTV. Go to the playlist and look for Ask the Doc, and they're all there. You can share them with your friends. There's a lot of great information that you might want to share with family and friends, and you can go there and watch the YouTube clips after we're done. At this time, Dr. Whaley, we always like to give you an opportunity. What's new, what's happening, what's going on out there in the medical field that you want to share?
Really important is we're still 7 inches short in rain.
Yes.
So everybody thank the Lord for this rain we're getting.
Yeah,
now,
we need some rain.
Which drove us indoors from Sycamore Crossing. All right, put the news thing up there, because this is exactly the way they showed up this week. And there's not a single solitary thing in there about vaping. There's nothing in there about that flaccid paralysis, and there's nothing in there about measles. But one of the most important things that we've discussed in here before, FDA may put strong warning on breast implants. Do you remember how many times we've had people talk about, does a breast implant increase my chances of getting cancer? And we said for the longest kind of time that the original breast implants, which were smooth, were associated with capsule formation, pain. You'd say, oh, I don't like them because they're just as hard as a rock. So they began putting a textured surface over the breast implants, maybe a decade or 15 years ago, and they're just beginning to learn in the last half a year that textured breast implant is associated with a substantial increase in various lymphomatous type breast cancers, not the type of breast cancer we were talking about early, but and this is what the FDA's warning is going to say, that a breast implant is not forever. That a breast implant has a shelf life, and that if you get one, it may have to be removed within 15 or 20 years. So it's a real cautionary tale to kind of just say, I think I'll go get a breast job done, in that there are long-term negative effects of breast implantation that you at least have to consider before you go do it. All right, now the one right above it, obesity may be upping rates of pancreatic cancer. We went through discussions here a few weeks ago about the malignancies that are clearly related to overweight, and that's breast, colon, prostate, but they didn't have pancreas in there, so they've thrown the pancreas in there in the last couple of months. And the last one about vaping, you see that, because that bottleman, can that be read? The FDA is going to approve, now smokeless tobacco is not vape. Smokeless tobacco is a product that is a cigarette, and it's like the one that I think my wife says that they use on television or in the movies when people are smoking. They're really not cigarettes. They're something else. I mean, lettuce leaves or something. But that vaping is being so blasted that they're going to allow the manufacturers of these 8 different smokeless tobacco products to market them and clearly say that they can lower the risk of lung cancer.
That's interesting.
It is, and I think it's important because of the vaping scandal, really, that there's no safe vape product, even if it's made by Juul. So that's the end of the news for the day.
I think Juul is pulled, and I want to be accurate when you say something like this. I think Juul has pulled some of the flavors.
All the flavors.
The flavors, yeah, like bubble gum and cotton
vanilla,
candy. Yeah, they've pulled those.
Bubble gum and cotton candy. You got to really stop and say, no, we weren't marketing to kids, but bubble gum and cotton candy.
Got it, exactly,
yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, well, Dr. Whaley, I appreciate it very much. I wish you said you have several patients today, so we know you have to get off to work. Wish you could stick around for the All-Star panel, because I think we're going to throw Rick right into the Bill Taylor. We're going to give him that segment, and then we're just going to ask Jane what she thinks of John Durham turning it into a criminal investigation. And then I'm going to sit back and drink a cup of coffee.
I would say the two people I could think of would it be. I know Bruce is traveling. Ray Tidman would have a lot to say today, and Dr. David Weirick would have a lot to say today, but. You're going to have a intense panel with 2 panelists.
Oh, I know.
I
know. And it's like we struggle to have something to talk about every week.
Right. Yeah, there's not much happening this week. Exactly. I mean, the Falcons need a new coach. That's really important.
All right.
Yeah, the Nationals are doing really great. And Phillies finished behind the Braves, and they're kicking, what.
Right.
You could talk about that. But I think probably the criminal investigation is a little more important.
Folks, again, Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley, brought to you by North Georgia Cancer Research Center right up here in Blue Ridge, affiliated with Northside Hospital. We appreciate Northside Hospital for this segment. Don't forget, send your questions to info@FetchYourNews.com. Put Ask the Doc in the subject line. Send Dr. Whaley your questions. We'll get them to him. And along with that, if you want to watch this segment again, or send it out to family and friends that you think want to. A lot of these questions, you might have family members that going through. A lot of our cancer questions are very good.
They're common.
Yes, and you could share those. So you look for our YouTube channel, FYNTV Fetch Your News YouTube playlist. Ask the Doc. Share these with your friends. Dr. Whaley, you have a wonderful fall day. It's not going to be a bad weekend. It's going to be a nice weekend.
No,
temperatures are going to be okay.
Yeah, tell Jane it's going to be fine to go to the Grand Kids-based football game Saturday night.
Oh, okay. I'll try. We'll be back right after this with the All-Star Political Panel. Take us a break, Lonnie.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
We are back. Jane, you are. Okay, folks, let's try to get this together. We're back. I'm your host, BKP.
I need a drink.
We're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge, Georgia. And you know what? This is the all-star political panel. Bruce is traveling.
Bruce gonna be good.
Is traveling. And first of all, Rick, Jane, all of you, Rick, thank you very much. Fortunately, I'm not a sensitive guy, or my feelings would be hurt. I mean, you know, Dr. Whaley this morning, Rick's got it undercover. What are you doing here? I'm like, what? So, no, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. But anyhow, I appreciate you guys a lot. You guys have helped me through a lot just being here and doing this, and I appreciate you very much. I want to tell something really quick before we jump in where my mother's concerned.
Yeah.
So this time last Friday, when you guys are doing the show, I'm sitting in a cancer center infusion center where, you know, and she has to have a blood transfusion. So this is her third one. She's had 3 blood transfusions since she started through this cancer treatment. And we're sitting there, and I'm looking at this lady, and she's got a bag of blood hanging, the only way I put it, and I'm thinking, you know, going through this. She looks at me, and she says, Brian, there's no way I could send off and have my DNA checked. I've had 3 transfusions, and there's no way they're going to know who I am. They'll probably send me back something that says I'm an Indian like Elizabeth Warren. I thought, how do you have this sense of humor?
That's great.
She said, they'll probably send me something back. There's no way I can check my DNA. I can't check my DNA. So
Pocahontas.
I hope Pocahontas didn't hear that, because she'll start using that as her MO.
Well, I just wanted to share that. But, so, that being said, let's start with this, and Rick, a little bit for the American people. I'm going to start with, we know the news. John Durham and the Justice Department has switched their inquiry to a criminal investigation. But Bill Taylor, the whole entire country this week has been saturated with William Taylor, ambassador to Ukraine. Share a little bit on that, Rick.
Taylor was a career politician, EU, European Union ambassador, a Republican, I believe a Bush appointee, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he did work for Bush, Obama.
Well, yeah, he worked for them all. He's a career politician, career ambassador.
Correct.
Doesn't like Trump. Came into the secret Schiff House and to the Skiff House, and went under a thorough examination. And apparently, now I didn't see all the details because Radcliffe hasn't exposed him. But apparently, when Taylor did his opening statement, they said you could hear a pin drop in the room. Everybody was aghast until Radcliffe got after him and apparently just destroyed him literally within the first 2 minutes.
That's what Nunes said.
Now, I don't know the detail to that, and I apologize for that. I've been focusing on some other areas, but suffice to say, it was delegitimized, if you will, by having a Republican in the room.
Well, yesterday, yesterday,
you
MSNBC,
actually were following it closer than I was because you had more detail.
Well, yesterday, what upset me, and it's not out there this morning, and they must have pulled it. They must have said
there was a lot of stuff pulled.
They must have said this did not play well, okay? Because yesterday, what infuriated me, these are closed door testimonies, okay? What are they called? Not testimonies, depositions. These are closed-door depositions. Now, the thing that really angered me yesterday morning is after the Republicans, they used the narrative stormed. Okay? No, they didn't.
Yeah.
They used the narrative that they went in a closed meeting and turned on electronic devices that wasn't. No, didn't happen. Okay? But they ran that, okay?
National security was not compromised.
Exactly. So the thing, I really got upset yesterday morning. I really did, because MSNBC came out at 5 a.m. and tried to balance that these are closed-door hearings with Benghazi was closed-door hearings. And that shot me through the roof, because let me tell you something, American people. Number one, Benghazi was surrounding confidential and classified information with the Foreign State Department and what took place. That's number one. Number two, Bill Taylor is alive to be in the room, okay? Ambassador Stevens is dead. Okay, that sent me through the roof.
Exactly.
Okay.
You showed pictures
Yes.
of Ambassador Stevens on your show.
Okay, so the thing that really shot me through the roof is they were trying to balance that out, saying, well, Benghazi was closed-door hearings, Republicans were in charge, and why are they going after, Schiff with closed-door hearings when they did it? They pulled that off the shelf quick yesterday. Now, I've not heard it anymore, but I saved all of it yesterday at 5 a.m. when they tried to balance why it was closed doors, and they called it Republican hypocrisy. Listen, Ambassador Chris Stevens is dead, okay? A woman went on 4 morning shows and lied to the American people, Susan Rice. Hillary Clinton covered...
And admits it now.
Yes, and admits it.
In her book, she admits it.
Admits what?
Admits that she was set up and...
Right.
To go on the Sunday morning talk shows.
Oh, Susan Rice.
Right. Susan Rice, the circuit. She was set up to come out with the narrative that it was caused by a rogue producer in Hollywood.
Right.
So what the
she was set up.
And I'll get past that, but what upset me yesterday morning is when they tried to use that parallel to balance closed-door hearings. Benghazi, folks, actually those hearings did involve employees with the State Department and so forth that did have to talk about confidential and security, national security issues. So let's go over to Adam Schiff. This is declassified. This information has been declassified. They're not in a closed-door hearing because of classified information, correct? So this is all, this is all stuff. Now, my opinion is what they are doing in these hearings that they're having or inquiries is developing their side of what they want to take public. Because now, I call them hashtag deep state corporate corrupt media. The narrative they're running is, oh, this is going to be public in just a week and a half, right? The reason they're running that narrative, oh, it's going to be public. When they go public, it's what they put in a box that they're going to bring to the public.
I don't believe...
You agree with what I'm saying?
Well, to a point. Okay. I don't believe the reason that they're stalling and saying that, they don't have anything.
Right. Okay.
If they had something, I believe it'd be
out.
all over the street. They would be hanging from the rafters.
I agree with that. I don't think they have anything.
And then if they did do that, we would say, put up or shut up. You got to tell us where you came to this conclusion and show us hard facts. What do I think? I think, as I was trying to get in before anyone said anything, the shift is going to hit the fan.
You love that, don't you?
I love it. I love it. And that is figuratively and literally. It's just going to be
Well, what
so
you could say, because nobody will be able to pick up what you mean, you could say the SH asterisk asterisk. You're allowed to say that on this show. It's going to hit the fan.
I said shift.
And then you could say shift. But then you could also say that if you want to. I just want to give you the green light. Because that's what they do. I love it. They'll put the S and then 3 asterisks. What is that? I've spent all afternoon trying to figure out what they're talking about. So it's going to hit the fan.
Speaking about hashtag, etc., I have been tweeting. By the way, I'm to 342.
You have a Twitter account?
Lindsey Graham, directly to @LindseyGraham. He is squished like a bug because when he turned 180,
when he flipped,
we all didn't like him. He was best friends with No Name John McCain. Just for those who you've forgotten, best friends.
How do you roll out No Name and then throw it?
I knew exactly who it was.
I was wondering.
Some people don't know, maybe.
Go ahead.
So he was best friends. I believe he was a traitor. I believe he was involved in all that, forming ISIS. I believe all of that. He hated Trump. All of a sudden, whomp. And I believe that's because even though Trump has said no deals, when we find out who's doing this, there are no deals for nobody. He was offered a deal if he would come over and then be on the right side and get to the bottom of this. Well, he did that. But when it gets to the nitty-gritty now, when it's really hot, the deep state has a lot of stuff on him too. I mean, so he's getting it from Trump saying if you don't stick to it, you're getting prosecuted with all this stuff we have. The deep state is saying if you don't, we're going to kill you probably. And he is just like this. He can't wiggle. And he's made a fool of himself, you know. And the thing that I tweeted him last was this. When those congressmen went up to that room to barge in and make their stand, Lindsey Graham evidently immediately was furious. They shouldn't have done that. What's the matter with them? And then he retweeted, oh, sorry, I heard that they stormed up there, but they didn't really storm up there. And I texted him and said, then why didn't you ask them before you made a ridiculous statement to criticize them first? You know, ask them first instead of tweeting this ridiculous statement. He has more sense than that. He's gonna go right in the middle. Anything else?
Squished like a bug. Like a bug in a rug.
So watch Lindsey. He's in a hard. It's kind of funny. He deserves it.
I think Rick is correct when he says they don't have anything, because I will say this, and I said it on the show this week. They thought they had something with Russia, okay? So when Attorney General William Barr came out and framed, as they called it, framed the report in a summary, they got all up in arms, and William Barr came before the committee and testified, and it blew up on him. The Robert Mueller, it blew up on him, okay? Corey Lewandowski, it blew up on. They have
Papadopoulos blew up on him.
They have yet to have a public hearing on anything that has not just fallen flat. I think you're right. If they were to have these hearings in public, people would be like, really?
Really? You're doing this? Why?
Really? Exactly. Now, the congressman, amazing job. Now, they had a press conference.
Which one?
All right, I'll tell you what happened. You'll probably be able to name it. They had like a 22-minute press conference before they went down to go in the room. And I watched that 22-minute. And the one guy said, look, Taylor heard this to like the fourth power. It was like he heard it from this person who told this person that told this person. So he didn't. Who is that congressman that said
from
that?
New York?
He did. Where is he? He did an outstanding job.
Isn't he from New York?
I don't remember, but he did an outstanding job obliterating Taylor's testimony in just 2 minutes in front of a camera. You got to go watch.
Well, Ratcliffe did, from Texas,
right?
And the other guy is from New York, and I can't remember.
You remember what he said? It was great.
I've never seen him before. I remember I did.
He is somebody that I really don't know, but he came before the camera and he did a great job.
I think the focus now has shifted away from Schiff, if you will, because this thing with the two reports that are coming out and the Horowitz, which is a phone book this thick, is going to dovetail right into John Durham's testimony, his report, which is now turned into
a criminal
investigation.
Absolutely.
And as I'm sitting here live, I'm telling you that this is all going to come back to one guy at the top of the heap, John Brennan.
Oh, I was going to say Obama.
Well, Obama is culpable as well, because you can't have a counterintelligence without being approved by the president, which is exactly what happened.
Brennan is going to be. Let's take a quick break, Lonnie. Let's just take a quick break.
Go to that card, Lonnie.
Go.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. We are at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge, Georgia. All-star political panel, Jane, Rick. I don't want to assume you know these great stars here. You may be first-time viewer, and they are awesome. Hey, we had a great summer, didn't we, over at Sycamore Crossing?
Yes, we did. It was fun.
We just had a great summer over there. It's always, we just had a good time.
We only had one Friday when it was kind of iffy with weather.
Right.
Other than that, it was just
we had
it
a
was
very good
brilliant
summer
all the way
over there.
along.
I love it. Love our indoor home here when the weather starts changing, so we can be comfortable and warm and not shiver while we're trying to discuss these big issues.
I told everybody we're like snowbirds. We winter at Circuit World.
Yes.
And then you know when the climate's nice, we go to Sycamore.
Yeah, exactly. We're snow. Okay, so there's a couple subjects. We don't have to go one into, but there are a couple subjects I want to get in before we leave today. I do want to get your opinion on Syria and Obama creating ISIL that turned into ISIS, which we know ISIL, he said. So Obama and Hillary creating ISIS, but
And McCain.
and McCain, you're right. So I want to discuss that in a minute. I want to discuss NYC, the NYC Bar Association demanding that Attorney General William Barr recuse himself from anything that is Ukraine. Now the narrative this morning, and let's go here so we do have enough time. We've switched. John Durham has switched this investigation to criminal.
Before we broke.
Right, that's where we're at.
We were on.
So, what say you? All right, you got the news yesterday that this is switched to criminal. I've been watching the media run. They are reporting this. So it is being reported. It was reported at 6 a.m. this morning on Minka and Joe that it's criminal. It's reported on CNN. It's being reported, but they're following it up immediately with the narrative, this is Trump retaliation
Against his enemy.
Political enemies. Right. Okay.
That's all they got. What are they going to say?
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. We know that. Well, what say you when you heard that yesterday afternoon?
Well, it wasn't a surprise to me. It was a surprise to a lot of people because Barr and Trump and Warren, what's his name?
Durham.
Durham. They've known all this.
Horowitz.
Yeah, they've known it for a long time. They've even had a lot of proof about this for a long time. So timing is everything. Timing is everything, and certain things have to put into place. And they're letting the deep state just step on their faces and fall flat. They're looking so ridiculous. And you know that old saying, never interfere with the enemy when they're in the process of beating themselves. And that's what they're doing. They're just so they've known it for a long time. I've known that these people are going down because I listened to about 5 people for 2 years, and it just had to come. So I'm excited, and it's going to happen. It is going to happen. Obama may go to jail if he doesn't die first. They're going. At one point, Q said, "Hello." Q said there may be lots of suicides.
I tell you what, I have.
It's coming down.
No. I have absolutely no problem whatsoever of opening up every possibility. Now, yes, some things may not come, but I'm to the point where I've seen so much. There's no reason not to look at a little bit of everything and see what may come down. You guys are reading an article together you've been discussing during the break.
It's such an interesting article that I literally have read it 3 times.
Yeah,
and it's a long article. It's 10 pages long, whatever.
Chock full of stuff.
But it chronicles the entire deep state operation and how they go about trying to take down the President of the United States, regardless of who it is.
Yeah, that's the amazing
This didn't
thing.
start with just Trump. This started back all the way back to McCain. They had this whole narrative set up for McCain, but what did McCain do? He fell flat on his face in his challenge with Obama. They were trying to dictate everybody along the way that would be in power as president so that they can control that person. That's why it was so important that Hillary get elected. 2 things happened that they never expected. Trump got elected, and the president of Ukraine got elected, which shocked the deep state. They never expected the president of Ukraine to be Zelensky, the comedian.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Right. Ukraine has been the hotspot and the cover for the Democrat corruption. The
Way
Democrat
back.
Party corruption is centered in Ukraine. And you can look at the tag team that was going on between Brennan and a guy by the name of James Cofer Black, who, if you haven't researched that name, I'm telling you, that is going to become a commonplace. This guy is a career counterintelligence guy, CIA guy from 1974 on, and when he and Brennan were in Saudi Arabia, they were the ones that made it possible for those 19 Arabs to get into this country by giving them a visa
Over
to come
the
in,
objection.
over the objection of the local guy to come in and get pilot license to be able to take off an airplane but not necessarily land an airplane. Remember all that? They were the ones that were totally involved. They were tag teaming along that whole way. They made it possible for those guys to come in. And when Brennan came back to the U.S., where did Cofer go? Boom, he went to the Ukraine. He now sits on the board of Burisma. He's the third highest guy in charge of Burisma. And if you look at Burisma, they're nothing but a criminal organization. They had 15 counts against them.
The guy had to leave the country.
Exactly. Exactly. I know I'm going into way too
No,
much
I got it.
detail.
No, that's why sometimes it's you're doing a great
It'll
job.
stimulate
You
people
are
to
doing
go.
a great job.
That article
explaining
can
it.
be found if you Google Red State Mitten, M-I-T-T-E-N, which is their slang word for Mitt Romney, and Mitt Romney's right in the middle of it too. And it's
Oh, you mean President Romney? That's
yeah.
who they think he is, or something. I mean,
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
Well, he's gonna
he
he's
thinks
thinking
he
he's going to run in 2024.
Yeah.
And the reason, who was the first prominent Republican to come out the same day that Nancy Pelosi said, "I'm going to go ahead and go with the impeachment"? Literally within an hour. He's on the bandwagon. Why? Because if he doesn't protect his butt, it's going to all come back to haunt him, because he's tied to Cofer, who was a guy on his staff when he was running against Obama for the presidency. Cofer's tied like that.
You know, all of them
To
are
Romney.
protecting their hind ends, and it is through this and Syria. So I just read an article that really Syria is where all these drug and child trafficking is coming, and Romney's involved in that. There's so many people. That's why they wanted to stay in Syria.
They're scared to death of this
It's
whole
all-
thing coming down.
It's like
that's been
dominoes.
exposed. And the two wild cards were Trump and Zelensky.
I always like to throw in at a time like this, and just a quick reminder. It's like a placeholder card. Seth Rich is dead. Okay. So anyhow,
I'm sorry,
and
I
you
did-
got to look.
I didn't mean to
you
go-
Did, no, you did an amazing job. I'm glad you did, because you know what, the media. I want criminal charges against members of the media. Period.
Yeah. How will they do that, though?
Absolutely.
Just
I don't know how, but First
under
Amendment, don't. You know, it's like, don't tread on me. Don't tread on the First Amendment and be corrupt criminals, because they are.
Could they
It's a
include them in the coup?
Somehow they have
there
to.
is a coup. That's
there,
right.
there has to be, because there's actually people in the media I think should go to prison. Because let me tell you something. 10 years ago, Obama, all right, when I get up in the morning and I see a report with a tagline that says, President Trump has allowed Putin to call the shots in Syria now with Erdogan, the president. Wait a minute. Could you rewind 10 years ago when Putin went into Syria with Assad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, folks. Really, folks? You're going to run with that narrative? You know, Syria 10 years ago, Obama let it happen. They created ISIS, okay? They definitely did. And now the narrative yesterday morning, or I call them the little bylines, 100 captured ISIS fighters are missing. Really? That is your line this morning? Let's go. All ties together. Let's go there. What do you think about President Trump's taking a lot of heat about moving troops out of Syria?
You mean all 34 of them or 50 of them?
50.
Well, what
No.
do you say to that?
What I say to that is he is a man of his word, and he's keeping a campaign promise, and he is reading the mainstream voter. The mainstream voter says We are just tired of year in and year out wars. And our precious soldiers coming back maimed or dead.
The wars that go nowhere.
The wars that go nowhere. 19 years here, 25 years here. And he is saying, you know what? We're not going to fight conventionally anymore. There's going to be a whole new way to battle in the world. And I think he's way ahead of the curve.
He is. The head of the Kurds thanked him. Did you read that article? Thanked him for pulling them out and then giving sanctions because there's not as much.
Even though the media would show the Kurds throwing rocks at the the Bradley fighting vehicles as they're pulling out of the zone.
But you know what I think? I think that these countries, I've read and I believe that the deep state has controlled many of these countries, North Korea, Syria. I mean, literally the deep state runs them, and Trump is getting rid of that. And they are tired of being controlled by a bunch of crooks. They absolutely blackmail them all. The deep state has total control, and they're seeing, I think I can get rid of this. And they say they're out of North Korea now, the deep state. And that's why they're helping us. They can see we might get to be our own country again.
It's the deep state war machine is what it is.
Yeah.
Let me just throw one thing while I got it. I know you're just dying.
Go.
I know you're just dying here, but
I'm good.
Are you dying?
No, he wants to. In the day. I used to support Cheney.
Oh, I hate that man.
A little bit. Now,
9/11.
Wait a minute. We don't know how Jane feels about that, Rick. Yet
I said in the day.
Go back.
I've since.
What did they say?
I knew you were going to say
Go back to the tape.
Yeah.
I knew you don't like. I know.
Okay,
wait.
All right, go ahead.
However, when you see a Liz Cheney stand up yesterday, who's nothing but Exactly, and she wants the war to continue. I'm thinking to myself. I
did not hear that. Anyone?
Well, we don't want to pull our troops out. We need to put more troops in there because ISIS is going to come back, and we need to do this, and we need to do that. We're making. I support the president, but he's making a huge mistake by pulling troops out. What does that say to you? That says to me that all she wants to do is just promulgate what the crap that's been going on over there instead of just saying
somebody walks in her office and says, hey, we need to build 68 planes this year. You figure out where we're going to sell them, where we're going to send them. Let's just say this, and when I say I want to get off
I know where
this,
you're going.
But let's just say the military, and this is not, see, if you talk about the military, people start labeling you anti. We're not anti. But let's just say we need a sufficient fighting force. We need 922 planes. So if you say, I got 922 planes. Well, if the plane salesman comes in and says, but I need to sell another 68, and you say, I got my 922 planes, it's all I need, then we got a problem because the plane salesman needs those 68 to sell. So you either got to blow some up, or we got to make a deal with the country.
We got to make a deal. That's exactly right. We got to make a deal
with the country, and we got to sell. That is a massive bit war. I'm going to say that war and killing our kids is a massive business.
Exactly. That's what I tried to say.
You know
earlier.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got to throw killing our kids in there because I'm sorry.
Listen.
There are people that if you think, what Air Force base do they come back into? Is it which one when the kids are dead and the coffin comes back? Let's begin. What Air Force base is that? Over there, over in D.C. Which one?
Yeah,
is it?
yeah.
Andrews.
Andrews.
Is that whatever?
Yeah, Andrews.
There's people that just don't care. Those coffins are coming off the back of that plane. I'm gonna say they get away from it. I don't know. You understand?
And Trump made a big deal about that in his speech. He said the worst thing I got to do
is go down there and watch these things.
You think these families are strong, but when they see that coffin coming off the airplane, there's been a lot of them that just lose it, and rightly so.
And then people got mad that he exposed that.
Yeah.
Oh, they said he used that as a
as a tearjerker or something like that to pull on the
Trump's
heartstrings.
trying to say you go down there and you watch a mom, and I'm sorry, folks, so you watch a mom watch her son or daughter come off in a coffin and throw themselves on there hysterically. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I got something to say.
Go ahead. Oh, you raised your little mitten up there.
Not mitten. Not mitten. No, that's for both of them.
All right, no mitten on. This thing's unraveled.
So, two things. One is you ask any Vietnam veterans family, especially the ones who died and we know them, what they think about pulling out of Syria, and you're not going to know what they say. Nothing came of that war except thousands of deaths. Number two, what were you just talking about? This is my big point.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Here's the thing. So Bill was in Vietnam,
right?
And he's got
Absolutely.
stories of men dying. Right? Of course, he was a doc, and I mean, it's heartbreaking. It took him years to go back to process it, and we did that, and it was sad. But about a year ago, we were on a plane, and we landed in, it wasn't D.C., I don't think, but I don't even know where it was. And so they said, everyone stay seated because we have a veteran casket, their family's coming. And so we watched out the window, and I mean, it was unbelievable. It came out, the family's over there, and just like Trump says, they're okay until it comes. And Bill sat there, and all of a sudden, he broke into sobs, and it lasted like 10 minutes. And you bring them home. We accomplished nothing over there except getting people, the deep state, wealthy and wealthier.
Right.
And I did read one more thing that said there was a guy over there that actually saw them take tanks off to be delivered. They took them and put them right over a cliff because they need to buy some more. I read that. That's hearsay because I can't point to the tweet that was there, but that's the truth. War is making money.
I know that assessment that you made was a generalization, but it's right on target.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens all the time. We got 65 more planes to sell because we got an earnings report coming out, and we've got to show that we're ahead of the curve. You're exactly right. That's it.
Exactly right.
That's how this whole munitions, armament, deep
and
state.
they can just. That's when Eisenhower said.
Let me tell you something that's difficult for me. I love these kids. I absolutely do. Okay, and I absolutely do. But I go on Facebook and I see these kids missing limbs. Okay, and then I'm told I'm supposed to support the veterans, and I do support the veterans. But then I look at the kids and say, why the hell did they go to Afghanistan? Just somebody, will you please tell me why that kid's missing limbs? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
now, I support our veterans. Absolutely, and we should.
Yeah, we do.
But let me ask you a question. Why the hell is that kid missing a limb that's been in Afghanistan, for 18 years? We've been there? So I didn't mean to get there, but that bothers me.
That's the bottom line.
Well, it started with you asking, what say you about that? And I think Trump is tired of it as well. He's keeping a campaign promise just to close this up, and he realizes that his voting base is tired of it as well.
Quick subjects. We've run out of time. This has been amazing. This is so much fun. We got to just turn the camera on and go one day. But we've got to move. But we got to move along. We got other things. We've got.
We do?
Yes, it's 9:29 already. You got a subject you just want to make sure we get at least a brief note on today, both of you, before we leave?
No, I would urge everybody that really wants to get a better understanding. If you have access to Google, Google Red State Mitten Takedown of POTUS. And I think you'll see there's a 9-10 page article. I've sent it out to my friends. I mean, it really, really will open your eyes. Read it a couple of times because there's so much heavy information in there, but it will really open your eyes, I promise you.
And you?
Is this like instead of winners and losers?
No, you're going to do winners and losers. I just want to make sure if there was a subject.
Oh, there's thousands of them, but we'll just...
But one in particular.
For once, I thought about winners and losers before I got here.
Yay!
And Rick, you do winners and losers, and let's save hers after you're there.
All right. My winner of the week is a movie that's just coming out 10/25. It officially goes into theaters. It's kind of it's what do they call those that are not really, big productions, but they're documentaries. That's the word I was sorry.
I love documentaries.
The name of the movie is No Safe Places, and it is a production by Tom Carollo. If you remember Tom Carollo, he was a TV guy with the late night, and they did some regardless. Tom Carollo and Dennis Prager, and it is a documentary which you can download now. If you make a donation to him, you can download it now and watch it, which I've done, and it is brilliant. It is not. It's a First Amendment rights violation, no safe places, and how the higher education has been just destroying our right to First Amendment speak. So take a look at No Safe Places. My loser this week is going to be John Brennan. John Brennan is sweating the proverbial bullet right now.
Sweating is one word. There's another one you
It
could...
starts with an S. Starts with an S, too, doesn't it?
What's the matter with me today?
He is sweating.
You're on fire, baby.
Let's put it this way. He may have filled his britches.
Oh, dear. That's so...
Wonder what that meant.
I'm telling you. And, you know, this is an MSNBC reporter, by the way. It was so interesting last night. Take a look at Rachel Madcow, if you will. She was just absolutely... She was speechless last night when this whole thing came down, and it came down during her show.
I'd love to see her speechless.
That the New York Times came out with the revelation, and it's now coming down to a criminal. And she was just humming. It was fun to watch.
He does that so well.
It was.
He does that so well.
Humming. Winners.
Did you? All right, go. Winners.
Loser first.
Loser.
Not only Brennan, but the whole deep state. Yeehaw. They're going down. Here's my winner. Everyone listen up.
Drum roll.
Brian is my winner because look at that haircut. It is great looking. You just look great in your jacket.
Oh.
I mean, you've done it. Just keep going. You're it. You're my winner.
Okay, so how do I come back from that?
You
Anyhow,
you can start by combing your hair. Cookie.
All right, stop. I gotta get serious.
Right.
My winner. I usually never do a winner, but my winner is. Although I want to be clear, little disclaimer here. I do not agree with her policies. I would not vote for her. But my winner right now is Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii. Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii. Just the fact that she said Hillary Clinton, I think, quote, is the embodiment of corruption. That right there.
And a warmonger.
Embodiment of corruption. Now, I have asked for everybody to do a Tulsi Gabbard check daily. We need to check on this woman, see if she's okay.
She's not.
Yeah,
she's not.
I
have a theory.
No, not right now. All right, that's my one thing. Now, there's a couple things I want to say. Number one, Governor Abbott, please save that 7-year-old little boy. That's a boy
my land.
in Texas, please. Okay, I think the young man's name is young. Now, I want to say this, God forbid, or how would you expect me to ever say something that wasn't controversial, but if this is a woman that always wanted a little girl, okay, I'm just saying that. This lady in Texas, maybe she always wanted a little girl. Well, I'm going to say something very... Guess what? God didn't give you a little girl. That's the way I see it in the world, okay? You got a little boy. You can't determine you always wanted a little girl and start giving this 7-year-old puberty-blocking drugs that will chemically castrate this kid. Absolutely, right?
Chemical hormones.
Yes, that will castrate this kid. A judge, now I want to go into judges, a judge in Texas where the father, they're not married, the father was trying to get custody of the kid based on this emergency. He thinks that this woman's trying to turn his son into a girl, okay? She has the boy convinced he is a girl. Now, this is a true story, all right? So the judge says no. Says the mother can have the kid. The mother can start giving the hormone blockers. This is a true story. Look it up. Abbott, please, Governor Abbott, save this young man, okay? Or kid, 7-year-old. That's one. Two, I have a theory, and I want to throw my theory out, okay? There's so many reasons, obviously, people think that they don't want President Trump to have a second term. One, the first one was an accident, according to the deep state. How the hell did this go wrong? So they cannot allow, get ready, America, they cannot allow a Trump second term. My thing is because the Supreme Court is made up by 9 justices, and we'll hear a 5-4 court. You look this up and do your homework, and you think about the last president of the United States that appointed a 5-4 court and got 5 picks. Donald Trump, take John Roberts off there. Ruth Bader Ginsburg cannot be propped up much longer.
That's right.
So he may get another pick. He has Kavanaugh, he has Gorsuch. So Ruth Bader Ginsburg may be another pick in the second term. That would be 3, okay? We all know that Chief Justice, what's his name?
Clarence
Thomas. Sorry about that. Chief Justice Clarence Thomas wants to retire. We know that.
He does?
Yes, he does. He wants to retire. So that would be 4, right? 4.
Wow.
Okay? And then my thing is Stephen Breyer. Justice Stephen Breyer was appointed by Bill Clinton. He's 80 years old. Okay? A second term of Donald Trump, my prediction is the man would have 5 Supreme Court justices, a 5-4 court. Now, for those of you that are thinking, well, wait a minute, that's John Roberts. Sorry, folks, 5-4 court. John Roberts is not there for us conservatives when needed. So that's my thought out there is they cannot let, because transgender, all the list, EPA, everything that's going before the Supreme Court, and the man has appointed 150 judges, they cannot let this man have a second term for Supreme Court reasons only. They are scared to death this man could have 5 picks on this court. You see what I'm saying?
You're thinking long ball, which is good.
Don't rule out the possibility that when Durham comes in and Barr come in, some of those guys on that court and women may be involved in a scandal.
Wouldn't agree.
So I've read that for 2 years. It's been prophesied by 2 people, just letting you know. He's going to do five things.
I think Donald Trump wins the second term.
It's a landslide.
Get ready, though, folks. A 5-4 court, that would be something. I'm your host, BKP. We got to move on. We're at Circuit World. We went a little long. We had a great time. I want you to take the opportunity to go to Red State, read the article. It's a nice Saturday afternoon read. Rick, there's a lot of detail out there on Ukraine. And
Burisma.
And by the way, we'll close with Hunter Biden doesn't know jack squat about natural gas unless he's in, I don't know, let's just say it. Take us. Oh, by the way, does Hillary get back in? Yes, no?
No.
Yes, no?
You know what? I can't say. I think it's a possibility.
Gotta
but
go.
I think she's taken the fall for Tulsi. I think they're setting her up. Tulsi's deep state.
Cut us off, Lonnie. We'll keep going. Right after these messages, Jesse Barton, Community Relations Director, Cameron Hall, North Georgia Senior Living. Cut us out of here, Lonnie.
They're setting up Tulsi.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host BKP, and it's time for North Georgia Senior Living with Jesse Barton, the Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall, Ellijay. I get all that right?
Da da da. I just feel like
right. I mean, I can roll that out. I got that.
You got it.
Boom. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little distracted this morning with the next segment's already here.
I know the puppies are over there, and it's just, I'm telling you, Rena's bad. Bad Rena.
She gets here early enough that we can like start looking and getting attached and yeah.
Okay, so you have your Halloween / fall / pumpkin /
It's
orange.
finally fall weather and our leaves are changing. Nice
and
cool
you love
weather.
It.
I do. I like summer, but fall's my time. Maybe because I was an October baby.
And you're one of those pumpkin spices all over the place. Are you that? I mean,
I'm not that white girl.
Okay. Now the question this time of year. Ready, folks? This is big. You're gonna want to. Do I need a
drum roll?
Yes. The question this time of year. Have you watched your first Hallmark Christmas movie yet?
I have not. I'm a traditionalist, and
okay.
I'm not going to be PC. Indians and pilgrims have to come first before Christmas.
Okay, got it. Indians and pilgrims. I got it. I'm with you. No, I have to ask that question because the other day I'm already seeing people post on Facebook. They're
watching them.
They're
watching them. Is Lisa watching yet?
Please don't get me in trouble. Don't help this.
Okay. Moving on.
No, here's what happens. I come in the house and I say, you do know no matter they change those characters, that movie ends the same way. All 92 of them you will watch ends the same way. Everybody's all happy and the Christmas tree and everything, right?
And it's usually in a small town.
Right.
I did see a meme on social media the other day that said, I don't care. I know how it ends. I'm still going to watch it.
I'm okay with it. It's just a joke, but I tell you what.
They do.
Hallmark has, and it's become
There's T-shirts out there.
Absolutely.
I'm in my Hallmark watching T-shirt is what it says.
Yes, watching Christmas. Okay, didn't want to get down that road. I'm with you. Pilgrims, Indians come first, Thanksgiving, but I was just trying to say that as a joke.
Yes.
So, but then let's segue. I love a good segue from a Christmas movie to not quite time, but it is time for a chili cook-off.
It's the perfect weather, is it not?
Absolutely. You can't.
Yes.
Perfect. So this is happening tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Friends of Harrison Park have gotten together a chili challenge. It's the first one that they're going to be hosting. I understand there's like 17 or 18 competitors, and there's different categories. There's like a secret ingredient category, people's choice category. So I'm excited. We're going to take our award-winning chili. They've made a few little minor adjustments to our award-winning chili, and we'll be setting that up. I believe it's from 10 to 3 tomorrow, or until the chili runs out. 3 or chili runs out, whichever comes first.
Well, I know there'll be a lot of great contestants there tomorrow and a lot of very good chili, but they had to get very nervous when they looked and said, oh no, Cameron Hall is in this. They have award-winning chili. You guys won an award last year at Fire and Ice.
At Fire and Ice.
That was your debut, your chili debut, right?
Yes, that was our introduction to the playing field. So that was kind of fun. But what's even neater with this particular chili challenge is there's all kinds of scarecrows that people and businesses have set up along the park. So not only do you get to experience great chili and taste different flavors, you get to walk along and see all these awesome decorated scarecrows. And I was scrolling through some last night. There were pictures up, and there's some pretty cool scarecrows. So it's just like the perfect little fall activity tomorrow.
Okay, so 17 tomorrow, contestants.
Yes.
Cameron Hall. Have you guys decided what chili you're going with? Was it a white chili last year that you guys went with?
It was not. It was
I remember you made about what you did, the residents there. Last year, if I remember, you guys made 2 or 3 different ones, and you let the residents be the first judge.
Absolutely.
Before you went out.
Yes. So we are serving
residents. So the
residents.
fix is in. You have professional chili tasters already in place at Cameron Hall.
Absolutely.
Fix is in, folks.
Yes.
So are they doing that again this year? Is everybody at Cameron Hall going to get to taste some chili before it goes on the road?
We'll serve some of the chili, but we're going to stick with the recipe that they picked last time. Made a couple of minor adjustments to it. So expect some sweet heat.
Ooh, I like that. So tell us a little bit. This is Cameron Hall of East LJ. And Jesse Barton is the Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall, and we're actually having a chili conversation on a chili day
a
chili Saturday
in North Georgia.
So now when does it start tomorrow?
10 a.m. at Harrison Park in LJ.
10 a.m. at Harrison Park, and how long does it last?
It goes until 3 o'clock. They've told me unless the chili runs out first. They are serving, so when you buy the chili tasting card, they give you cornbread to have with it. So just make it a lunchtime activity.
Lonnie, I see Lonnie, chili and cornbread.
I checked the weather forecast, and the rain chances for during the day tomorrow have decreased slightly. So,
and this is beautiful in North Georgia. If you're out there anywhere in Atlanta area or whatever, driving distance, in North Georgia, we could call this just perfect walking around weather. Is it not?
It is.
It's just perfect weather. The chances of rain are going to be low tomorrow. It'll be cool, but you put on a jacket, sweatshirt.
Now's your chance to wear all those cute scarves and your cute fall boots and come for an afternoon in the mountains.
If you if you bought something for fall, tomorrow's a perfect.
Tomorrow's the best day.
Whatever you bought. So, so let me ask you a question. I don't know how to frame this. You ever been invited to a Halloween party? Well, I don't mean if you haven't, like they have Halloween parties and they don't tell you. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Oh no! I suddenly felt like Charlie Brown.
I was thinking that, like,
I got a
wait a
rock.
minute, you mean there was a Halloween party?
I'm holding my Halloween bag and I got a rock.
That's just wrong.
I watched that last night.
I'm sorry.
So now I'm gonna have to go to therapy after this.
I'm glad you're not sensitive. So what I'm thinking is like because the reason I think that is like because somebody's out there going to say, "Who did that?" But I got invited to a Halloween party, and somebody's out there now. Oh, really? You got invited to a party? Yeah, I'm not exactly the most boring guy in the world, but
Are you? Or is Lucy going to say that the list got switched and you were on the do not invite list?
I may have. I may find out.
I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just thinking. I don't want to say I don't want to go because that would be rude, but that's just not me, and I'm trying to figure out,
I get that because my personality type is I want to be invited, but don't be offended if I don't come.
Love this guy. Love this girl. You hit it. Boom. Say no more.
Yeah.
Anything we want to share this morning before we leave? Because I'm sorry to be rude, but we've got to get.
I know. I'm trying not to look over there because I just want to leave the seating and go grab one and go home. So, no, just come see us at Cameron Hall. We do have some fun Halloween activities next week. The residents are going to have a costume party. So.
Costume party.
Yeah. So my solution for my Brian, he does not do dress up.
Thank you.
I made him a T-shirt and it says "Grr, I'm a scary monster," and he just wears the T-shirt and jeans, and that's his costume.
I like it, Brian.
There you go.
I got it. Way to go, Jesse Barton, Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall and Ellijay. And you can always find our segments for North Georgia Senior Living. I call her the senior concierge of North Georgia. You come meet her. She will help you in any way whatsoever. If it's transitioning into Cameron Hall, if it's anything in North Georgia that pertains to senior living, she'll help you any way she can. How do you get in touch? Contact you?
Call me at 706-515-4100, Facebook, or on the web at CameronHallofEllijay.com.
Love the scarf.
Thanks.
Folks, get ready. Get ready because we have a special treat from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge, our pets of the week, plural.
They won't be at the Humane Society long.
No. Right after these messages. Take us a break, Lonnie.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
We're back. I'm your host, BKP, and it's time for our Pet of the Week. We're at Circuit World in Blue Ridge. It's time for our Pet of the Week from the Humane Society of Blue. Now, you were sitting here so calm. Put the chopper right back there. We're trying to find you a home. And who?
This is Darla.
Why do you do this? You're bad. Bad Rena. Bad Rena.
This is Darla, and this is Sophie. They're the last two in the litter of 6 that are waiting for someone to come put a pre-adoption in on them, so that they can find their home. They do not have to go together, obviously.
Throw your paws in the air.
Darla
Wave them
here,
like you just don't care, baby.
Darla here is a little bit more active, and as you can see, Sophie's just fine being on your lap. They are Border Collie mix. Mom was a Border Collie mix, so obviously there's other mixes in there, but Border Collie is what Mom looked like. And they are almost or right at 3 months old. So if you're interested in both of these girls or one of these girls, it would be fostered to adopt until such time that they are spayed. Turn her face around so they can see her face.
You want me to write you a song, Darla? Who is that over there?
The Sophie. Darla
Sophie and Darla. Oh, you must have been a beautiful puppy.
They were getting a little bit nervous around people, but they seem to have calmed down really quick like. Darla can be a little bit of a... aggressor is not the right word. She wants to be the one in charge. So you have to be the alpha when you take Darla so that she learns, you know, right and wrong.
Look me in the eye and tell me that again.
You have to be the alpha with any dog, but Darla especially, she has a little bit of a stubborn side to her. And Sophie's really sweet. And
so laid back. Yes, you were.
Sophie, you're a little chubby.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
They were at animal control. It was an owner surrender, so that's the importance of spay and neuter here and anywhere, is so that we don't have unwanted puppies roaming around or just, not being taken care of. And
your nails are
this one's
absolutely
watching
beautiful.
TV. She's watching TV, I think.
You're watching that TV.
She's liking the TV.
This is the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. Glad to have Rena. Who do you have?
Oh, this is Karen. You don't
Was that
remember Karen?
No, I don't.
Oh, Karen.
Yes, I do.
Oh. Karen's visiting. She's moved up to Hickory to be with her mom and take care of her. So she was visiting this week for pause, and she's been here the whole week. So she was helping me with the puppies, and then she's going to head back home. Sorry about that. I just figured you knew.
He does.
But anyway, both of these girls are at Humane Society of Blue Ridge. Come on out and meet them. I'm sure there's a home out there for either one of these, and you gotta like kisses because they are giving the kisses. And we have adult dogs that are looking for homes, big dogs. We're assuming.
Would you look at my pooch? Look at that.
Oh, you need to take that one.
This is my pooch. This is my pooch. Her the pooch pooch.
Look at
Oh,
that.
her the
You
pooch.
hit the soft spot
Her the
there.
pooch.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, who the papa? Her the pooch.
Yeah.
Who's the pooch?
Look
Who
at
the
that.
poochie? You want to go with me? You want to go with me? Who's the poop? Poochie. Are you the papa?
So as you can see, they weren't too nervous after a while. Assumption, maybe 40 pounds. How big's a border collie? She has a little bit more of the hyper than Sophie here, but there's a little bit of growth. It's always a guess when we get puppies. We just look at the growth bone and give it a guess.
It's easier for me to go through the scanner at the airport than it is for me to go home after Fridays
That's right.
with Sassafras. Sassafras gives me a good
That's
going
right.
over
Yeah,
every
where you
Friday when
been?
I go home.
Yep, where
So
you
anyhow,
been?
Humane Society of BlueRidge.org. These beautiful puppies. I've not been listening, but I'm for sure Rena told you it's foster to adopt. Okay, they have to wait until either the animal has been spayed or neutered before you can actually adopt. So it's a foster to adopt, correct?
Foster to adopt.
On these two
And they
beautiful
usually
puppies.
get spayed around 5 months, and they're coming up on 3 months now. But that way you get to take them home and you get to start training them without having to wait until they're older. That's why we do the foster to adopt. And then we're also guaranteed that they're going to get spayed or neutered if it's a male dog.
And the Humane Society of BlueRidge.org and their Facebook page. These two beautiful puppies are here, but there's so many other great pets out there, dogs and cats, that you can check out on their website. You can make an appointment on a meet and greet if you have. They always set up. They do a great job of trying to place the pet and the owner together. The right one time only. We try to do that. Come on over here, Pooch. That's okay. It's okay. You can be over. Who's the puppy?
she'll give you lots of
Who's the puppy? Who's
kisses.
the puppy? Oh yes. So, meet and greet if you have children, other pets like a dog, and you want to know if you can adopt one of these beautiful animals and put into the family. They suggest a meet and greet. You come up and so yes, I'm going to step out and say these two. Either one of these would be great in a family and kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Look at this. If you've been wanting to get the family a pet to be a part of the family, look at this. Look at this right here.
I know. And if you have cats, I know you don't want to hear this. If you have cats, I just want to say that you can train a dog, especially a puppy, not to bother the cat. And the cat alone will train the dog not to bother it. So
Why would you go through all that?
What do you mean?
Just train what? You had to get cats in this.
Well,
didn't
some
you?
people have cats. And they
I
wanna get
tried.
dogs.
I tried so hard to say you have cats. You just had to push it, didn't you?
But we have cats and kittens also.
Yes, they
But
do.
if you have cats at the home and you're thinking, well, I have a cat, I can't get a dog, that's not true. You can train your dog not to bother your cat. That's what I was getting at.
All right, we'll accept that. Humane Society of BlueRidge.org. That's how you check it out. Find out about them. Humane Society of BlueRidge.org. Find their Facebook page, and we're gonna have to go. This is
Call
Rena.
us 706-632-4357 and come out and look at the dogs and cats that we have. Everyone needs a home, and there might just be some room in your home to take one of these guys home.
I want to thank both of you. I know you give your time, you volunteer, and get involved. And I want to thank both of you and everybody else, all the volunteers and everybody involved with the Humane Society of BlueRidge.org. Hey, Friday night, you know what that means? Fetch Football Friday. We'll be on the sideline all over the place. Follow us on Twitter at Team FYN Sports. On Twitter at Team FYN Sports. We'll be at 6-7 games tonight. Follow us for highlights. Lauren Hunter, the director of sports, and all of our great sports reporters on the sidelines tonight at Team FYN Sports on Twitter. I will be back in the office 8 a.m. Monday morning, and have a great weekend. Come up, enjoy chili at Harrison Park in LJ tomorrow, and go see our friend Jesse Bart. We're out, Lonnie.